Hi guys, welcome to the second installment of my video series on flipping houses. Today we're going to touch a little bit on design, and we are going shopping today. So I'm going to, if you're a real estate agent, I'm going to touch a little bit on design for your investor, your client. And if you're a buyer that is interested in flipping, I'm going to talk about materials that build value or things that you should stay away from. So this video is a lot shorter than the first one, but it's going to cover a lot of important details on the actual selection process that I do. So hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Okay, the first scene opens up with me picking out toilets here. There was a leak in the toilet, so we're going to have to replace one of the toilets. Do not buy a bougie toilet. We're going to go economical, but we're not going to go all the way cheap here. Bougie toilets are for your own personal home. Appraiser is not going to give you a value on the kind of toilet that you have in the bathroom. Now, if you have a toilet that's just absolutely, it works just fine, but it's just absolutely disgusting and gross, you can just change the toilet seat and the lid, which will save you about $70 on a toilet. So I usually buy toilets around $130 or so. Sometimes you'll find them on sale for around $100 here. So this next scene is same thing with shower heads. I try to go economical here, but you want to make it look like you've made an effort into the home, that you didn't just cheap out on everything. So we're going to go to the my favorite section. My second favorite section is faucets, sink faucets, and vanity faucets. I am going to try to make this home look cohesive, and I advise that on your first flip as well. So there's different kinds of finishes. There's the brushed satin nickel. You have your chrome finishes, and what's really popular right now are the black and the gold finishes. So right here we're spending around mid-range. It's around $80 at our big box hardware store. I suggest you shop around. The ones that are trendier in colors, like the blacks and the golds, tend to be a little bit more expensive. I found them a lot cheaper on Wayfair, and I suggest, you could look on Amazon, Wayfair, some other websites, but please make sure you read the reviews on those things and make sure they're easy to install. So if you do hire a contractor or handyman to install those for you, that they can do that, and it has the directions. So I am choosing a brushed satin finish with the vanity here because I'm going to do that. I'm not going to mix the metals here. I'm going to make it look cohesive again. Same thing with the fixtures. You want to go economical, but you don't want to go too cheap. But you can have a little bit of fun with the fixtures. And the reason I say that is because the appraiser is not going to give you value on the brand that you use or how fancy it is or how expensive it is. So the appraiser is going to give you value on your updates all together. So let's say the house next door has absolutely zero amount of updates and you've gone and done all of the updates. They are going to give you a broad range of value on what those updates, what they believe it is worth on the market today. So the light fixtures here, this is my favorite department in the store, and I could spend hours here. Now, the most important thing, I'm really passionate about lighting. I think lighting for me, like with the same with kitchen and bathrooms, it's just that wow factor when a buyer walks into a home. And again, this is where you set your theme as well. So if you're going to go modern, you're going to go modern throughout the house. You don't want a farmhouse chandelier, and then the next room is a very modern LED light fixture over the vanity. You want your first flip to look very cohesive throughout the home, and if you choose a theme, like the industrial, farmhouse, or modern, contemporary, you want that throughout the home. So with this home, we're going contemporary. It's very neutral, it's even keel, and it's really not going to turn anybody away from that. So again, shop around. There's lots of different options. Make sure you check your reviews. We're at our local big box hardware store because it's easy for me, and I also get a military discount, and I use credit card for an additional discount. Well, we get one or the other. So I suggest you or support your local hardware store, but I suggest you shop around and have a little bit of fun with this. Now, your living room and your master bedroom with the ceiling fans, you're going to go a little bit more, I don't want to say expensive, but you're going to go budget friendly in your guest bedrooms, but a little more updated and expensive in those two areas, because again, that's what the buyer's going to see. Those are the important areas for them. Again, we're still in lighting because this is my favorite part. So exterior lighting is another huge area that you need to make sure you pay attention to. This is your curb appeal. This is what the buyer is gonna, that's the first thing that they see. So you're gonna want to update your fixtures as well. Please don't spray paint the original. You can do that to save money, but it just looks cheaply done. And if you just update the fixtures, like on Fazit Garage, those light fixtures, it's really going to wow that person. It's really going to wow the buyer. So they don't want to be seeing a lot of these lights, especially the flush mount lights. They rust really easy. They don't want to be seeing rusty lights right before they walk into a house. So I definitely recommend that. Another thing that I'm doing here, I am changing the plates for the outlets because a lot of them are ratty or cracked or have paint on them or something like that. There are two colors of outlets. There's a tan color and there's the white color. So make sure if your outlet color or your light switch is that tan color, and you'll find those in homes that were built in the 80s and the early 90s. Please make sure you match that color to the plate cover because it looks very tacky if you're just trying to update your plates and then you have a yellow. It makes it look very yellow, makes it look dirty. So they do sell the tan plate covers, but if you want to change those to all white, you can certainly do that as well. If if you're not an electrician, I highly advise you get an electrician to do that, but that is something that you also will not get value on. So you got to make sure, you got to think about your budget there. But these are a very inexpensive fix, and it does pop, especially in a freshly painted room. So that is what I'm doing here. I don't know if you remember in the first video, there was a missing doorbell. These Ring cameras are super nice, such a great update to a house, but it's not going to give you value. So let the buyer do that. They're going to personalize their home. They're going to add the security that they want to add. Don't assume that they're going to want a Ring camera. They might want to live off the grid somehow or something like that. So just make it basic and updated, and put the time and effort. Don't go so cheap where it looks like you just didn't care about the property. And then I sidetrack here. I'm shopping for my house. One of the mistakes I want to save you a couple $100 on here is choosing your exterior door handles, okay? They will come with the key to these locks. Now, if you have to buy multiple, if there's multiple doors and you have to switch these handles, which I highly suggest that you do, there's a sticker on the back of them and it's going to have a number. So you're going to want to buy, if you need to buy a second or third package, make sure that the number on the back coincides with that number. So I think the number on here is like 7206. So the second package I get matches that. And the reason for that is because I don't have to rekey them. If you buy packages with different numbers on them, you're going to have to get them rekeyed, and that costs several $100s. So we did a little bit of damage here. I think we spent about $1,600 on all of the materials, and I buy all of the materials for my my contractor, and he provides the paint. And the two biggest takeaways I want you to, my biggest things are please hire a professional painter. Do not practice on your first flip, okay? please hire a painter. Don't cheap out on the painter. Over time, you're going to find reliable contractors and handymen that are going to give you great prices, and they're also reliable and do great work. That just comes with time. But please don't cheap out on this. A professional paint job is going to, first off, save you a lot of time, and second, save you a lot of money. And they're going to tell you what kind of paint to get to. There's certain brands that painters prefer to use over another one, over others, and that's going to save you hundreds of dollars in the end. Please listen to them if they want something a little bit more expensive, I would say, because they only need to do 1 or 2 coats versus a cheaper brand that they're going to need to go over 3 or 4 coats, and that's going to cost you labor. The second thing I highly advise you is don't go online to buy your flooring. Please buy them at your local hardware store. And the reason for that, or a flooring store, the reason for that is it's easier to return if you open up a box and there's some chipped laminate or some LVP that you're putting down. They will return it, no problems. You're going to go online, you're going to go down the rabbit hole, you're going to find 33 cents a square foot laminate or LVP or even tile, and do not do that. Because it's going to end up costing you more money. It's actually really not the price. And please do not practice flooring if you've never done flooring, if you've never done tile. Do not practice on your first flip. We will be able to notice that. Agents do notice bad work. We will point it out to our buyers, and it's going to stay on the market longer. So it's either going to cost you thousands of dollars, either reducing the price on the house and you put it up for sale, or you're going to have to redo it, or it's just going to sit on the market a while. So those are my 2 biggest takeaways, because I've made that mistake and I've just saved money over time learning to pay people that are professional and do their job. So I hope you took a lot of valuable information from this video, and the next video is going to be the progress video, so you're going to see how everything's turning out. So I hope you guys stick around for the 3rd video. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good night.